This happened way back in like 2006 or so. I was 7 at the time and I lived in Peru. Me and my family used to go to this resort that was later destroyed by the 2007 earthquake. So, that summer my family from Puerto Rico came to stay with us at the resort for the summer. And it was a pretty nice summer after all. But this one thing that happened to me will haunt my life forever. It was a summer night in the huge resort, and everybody was seeing a show that the resort had made that night. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone except me. I was bored at the show, so I decided to go for a walk. In my 7-year-old mind, all I was thinking about was that I was tired and wanted to go to my parents' room, and that this resort had no artificial light of any kind whatsoever. So it was pretty dark. Then I heard a voice calling for my name. I looked around and saw 5 black hooded figures standing right at the resort security fence. I froze in fear. One of them started yelling at me, telling me to come with them, and the other one was flashing me with maybe a flashlight? I don't know. They were carrying large leather bags. No, not the ones that women use, the trash bag type. They started approaching me quickly. All that red flags were going in my head right at the moment. That's when I booked it out of there, running faster than I've ever had done in my life. Then I heard them screaming at me and chasing me. I didn't go to my parents' room, but my aunt from Puerto Rico that was taking care of my newborn cousin let me in, thankfully. The men that were chasing me decided to not chase me anymore. They were gone, so I lost them. I was out of breath crying and explained everything to my aunt, and she immediately called the resort police. They found the guys who tried to kidnap me, and from what I heard, the next morning they had robbed some apartments. So, kidnappers, let's not meet again. This is not my own abduction, but my cousin was abducted. She lives in Mexico. One day as she was walking home, after being dropped off by the school bus, she was pulled into a van by men wearing bandanas over their faces. They tied her up and placed a hood over her head. They drove for a long time, according to her. She was taken to a barn and she was left there. Inside the barn were other young women, tied somehow. She asked what was going on, or where were they, but the women wouldn't answer her. She somehow got loose from her rope and started to escape. She found a window and saw that the sun was setting. She broke the window with the chair, and she urged the other girls to come with her, but they were too scared to leave. My cousin left them, and she ran non-stop to the nearest town. She stayed off the roads just in case they were looking for her. Luckily, she found a phone in town, and she called her family. She's safe now. She could never remember where the location of the barn was. She feels guilty about it all. This story takes place when I was about maybe 5 or 6. There was a convenience store down the road from my old house, and my grandma would always go there for a while, talk to people and buy snacks or whatnot. So I went with her one day. The lady behind the counter knew my Nana really well, and she always treated me very nice. Anyways, my Nana had this friend she walked with to the store, and he seemed weird. I think he was in his late 50s. I don't know. It was just felt uneasy near him. He used to talk to me, and I would try to ignore him. One time he creeped me out so bad, the lady behind the counter let me behind the counter with her so I could hide from him. I remember she said, "Bobby, stop it, you're scaring her." And he asked her later on if I wanted to go to the park with him. I really didn't want to, but my Nana said, "It's alright, go to the park, Bobby, doesn't bite." And even though I didn't want to, I said okay. And he grabbed my hand right before we were about to go. My mom walked into the store, just casually meeting up with my Nana. "Mommy, I remember yelling as I ran to her and hugged her really tight. I told her what happened, and she told me, even if my Nana says so, to never go with strangers anywhere. To this day, and keep in mind I'm 16 now, I wonder what would happen to me if my mom didn't show up. I'm very grateful she did. Years later, me and my Nana saw that same man, and he tried to talk to me again, but I ignored him, and I pray to God I've never meet him again.